been a while since I've updated the site, so in the midst of watching episodes of Lost, I decided it might be in my best interest to do something with Chad. So, as you can see, I have taken him apart. I decided that I wanted to do something where I could get some more range of motion, maybe have him turn his waist a little bit. And so I have sawed off and sanded his, I guess, underwear area. And what I plan on doing is putting like a screw in there and reattaching him so he can actually turn while he's standing. I don't know if it's going to work, so we've got our fingers crossed that we're not going to have to buy another Chad. But I don't see that being completely bad. So what I plan on doing right now for the entertainment of the internet is painting his lower area to resemble underwear and less resemble being totally nude. Because hey, maybe I want to start the movie off with him in his underwear. That's not weird, right? So I was wrestling with a couple different colors for the underwear, thinking maybe like a dark black. Well, I guess black is as dark as it can get. A dark blue is what I meant to say. But I eventually decided on the red. Burgundy is what it says on the packaging. I didn't know that they were titles until just now. I thought they were all called plaid because of that. Like, wow, these guys did not think of any other titles. So we're going to get Chad's body and his legs out of the way so we don't get those red as well. I haven't painted anything since I was in middle school, so I'm hoping that this turns out alright. Put a little bit of paint here in the cap. I also don't know if this is the right kind of paint. I just kind of grabbed the first thing I found in my mom's craft room. See, now there's paint on my hands. And ideally, we're going to do this so you can watch me paint. I'm trying to work this camera while painting. It's a very complex thing. I kind of wish I would have recorded me sawing Chad, because that was quite the experience. I actually messed it up a little bit. It's not as straight as I would like it to be, but it could be argued that painting a doll's crotch region isn't straight either. So we're gonna go ahead and apply the first layer, probably the only layer, because I really don't see the need to do a whole lot of this. Originally, I wanted to do it so he'd have little white lines where like the strap part would be, but I get the feeling that that is a little more advanced than I'm capable of doing, or at the very least that I'm capable of wanting to try, because that would take some precision, some very precise brushing. And while my mother does have the brushes to get the job done, I don't think I have the patience. Okay, so we're getting to the crotch area. I believe they call this the taint, and it's proving to be the hardest part to paint because I had to move this region of Chad without actually touching the paint because I don't want fingerprints on it. Okay, so now, I have something on my hand. So now that we have painted the taint, we're going to just try and get everything else, all the inner areas, because I don't want any of it not being painted. And this is also proving to be very difficult. Okay, I haven't really thought of where I'm going to put this to dry, so let's hope that all goes well and it doesn't like fall on the ground, because I believe it takes paint a couple hours. They always suggest 24 on the back, but I don't know if I'm going to wait that long to reassemble Chad. Okay, yeah, we might have to do a second layer. I'm noticing that you can barely tell it's red. I don't know how visible it is on the camera, but you can see through the paint. That might be because I watered the brush a little too much. I don't know, but it looks like a second layer is going to be necessary. Whether or not I record that as well is yet to be determined. Probably not. because frankly, this is probably boring in general. I doubt anybody wants to watch me paint Chad twice. If you do, I would appreciate comments of that nature, but let's not get our hopes up for a Painting with Chad mini-series. I'm still in the planning phase for Chad Andy Dinosaur 2. I believe this is the first time I've announced it in an official means, and by planning, I of course mean that I just have not sat down to do it yet. I have the entire quote-unquote script written, but I just need to sit down and actually film it. And now that Chad has been disassembled, it's gonna take even longer, because I don't actually know if Chad can be put back together. The legs I can see will be easy, but the torso is a much angrier beast. I just realized something. I've painted this part, and I was going to set it upside down like this to dry. It might stick to this box, which is actually part of the pizza box that held the pizza that I enjoyed these past couple nights. So we're just going to take one quick look, make sure I got all of the Chad underwear. Yes, I believe I did. So we're going to set that down, clean off the brush. I can see in the LCD that you cannot see me cleaning the brush. You're going to have to take my word for it. I could move it closer to the camera's area. You can see it's all red and muddy. So what I'm thinking of doing, and I'm hesitant to try this, but since Chad's legs don't move all the way, if I want him to walk anywhere, it's going to be very difficult. I was thinking of just doing kind of just doing different cuts where he's already in the room. And so I was thinking of cutting the leg and maybe reattaching it, putting like a screw in there so it can move all the way, much like the arms can do, but they came that way. And I don't know if I want to do this yet, because like with this, it'll be pretty easy to reattach. I'm not that concerned. I could just fill this with putty or something and just attach a screw in there. But with the legs, it's not something that I don't know if that's possible, because like this, it's like, I don't know, like a rubber on some kind of plastic piece that's connected to actually make that a, well, I don't know what they call it, a hinge, I guess. I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't even know where to start. So it's something that I'm definitely considering. Let's see if we can get this leg in frame. But probably won't happen, because I need to think of more things that I can actually do, like creating scenery. Incidentally, the way that I came upon the idea to detach Chad's body was, I wanted to make a test video where he was dancing. Oh my, this is interesting. You can't see it all the way. We're gonna lift the camera. I have him attached in this fashion. But I wanted to do a scene where he was dancing, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if he like kind of moved around a little bit? And then I thought, wait a minute, this is gonna be very hard because his torso does not move at all. So really all I can do is kind of have his arms move around, and well, that's just boring. So I guess that's about it. So we're gonna wrap this up. This is John Paul and Chad's Torso signing out.